Hey, welcome to Sutherland Marine. Today's job was I was changing a transducer. So if you follow along in the video and you can skip through, I show cutting the fairing block first, and then I show also actually the first clip is how to use the oscillating tool to get the fairing block off. The second clip is cutting the fairing block, and then it goes on from there. It might be a little bit out of order, but I'm not the best at editing and creating videos, but I'm trying to make some stuff that's helpful. So the clips are only a few seconds long, maybe 20-30 seconds long, so they're pretty easy to fast forward through onto the next clip. Anyways, I hope this is informative and helpful. Yeah, good luck. So with your oscillating tool, your fine tool, multi-tool, vibrating cutter, get a regular cutting blade. It can be flat, it can be dull, it can be wood, metal, any bit will work. And run it up under your block. And cut all of this. It'll be glued down. You run it up under that block and you'll break free all of that goo. You don't have to get under there with a chisel and damage any of the wood. You see these light little tiny little scratch marks. That's all I did. You get in there with a chisel and try to break this thing out, you're gonna be chiseling out chunks of fiberglass. Comes nice and separated, easy peasy with your multi-tool. Then on this step, you're going to take your solid fairing block and screw it to a 2x4. Make sure that it's right on the edge. Get that nice and flush with the edge, just like that. You're going to be running it through your saw. So now on this step, once you've got the transducer off and fairing block down, so the easy way to get these off is to, just like I showed in the other part of the video, is you use the oscillating tool or your fine tool, the multi-tool, the vibrating cutter. You get in there and you just dig through and you cut all of that 5200 that's sealing it. And usually you can pry it down a little bit and cut through that the anti-spin bolt there with your fine tool, and then you can literally unscrew the transducer out of the hull, because this hole is filled full of 5200, so it acts as threads. You just start unscrewing it and it'll come down out of that 5200. You don't have to pry, you don't have to leave any marks on the hull and gouge out any of the anti-fouling paint. You can see these twist marks right here just from me spinning the transducer down and out of the hull. Nice and easy and clean. So in order to find the angle that you're gonna have to cut this fairing block, on your phone, get a angle finder app, hold your phone flat to the bottom of the boat. That's going to tell you the angle of slope on the bottom of your hull. That I can't show you because I'm going to be using my phone, which I'm using to make the video. But once I get that, I'll write the number down. I'll go over to my table saw and I'll turn my blade to that same degree, pass the fairing block through the blade, and you're good to go. You've got your cut, and it'll mirror the inside of the boat, so your inside and outside are going to be the same angle. Okay, so we cut that and that came out beautifully. I had the blade set to 12 degrees all the way up, and so now we're going to take the wire wheel on the drill. Just going to clean up the bottom just a little bit where this thing is going to sit on a nice, clean, prepped surface. Helps when you hold the drill with two hands. So we're going to clean this up with the drill, and we'll do the same to the inside. There you go, all clean. Same done to the inside. So now we've threaded our transducer into the fairing block. We threaded all the cable in through the hole in the hull. Pull it up flush with your straightening pin in there and scratch a line of the transducer actually sits. Now I'm gonna run tape along that line about 1/4 of an inch out, because that's my bead. That's just the outside bead. There's all this is gonna be full of put a nice bead of 5200 around all of this. And when you get the unit about that deep into the hole, you know, about once you get the unit about this deep past this notch right here, once you get that deep into the hole, that's when you're going to want to cover all of this down here with 5200. Make a nice like 3 rows of 5200 going all the way around the threads and then all the way around that base. And then do the same thing for your fairing hole as well. I mean for your this one. So put 3 good beads all the way around those threads and all the way around that hole. And before you put it in, I usually put a couple dollops of 52 on the back side of the actual transducer right there. And don't do what I'm doing. Don't lay your transducer face down on the ground. This is a rubberized surface right here. You don't want to hit that with acetone. If you get any squeeze out of 5200, you can use some light cleaning solvent. Do not use acetone or mineral spirits on this surface right here. It will damage the surface. I never pressed record. Put 52 up under there. I didn't press record. So put 52 onto that surface right there. Ooh. And just let that sit. Don't let it cure though, but you're alright. You got plenty of time. So here I'm sitting. Gonna let it calm down just a little bit. I like the way that sits. So I'm gonna pull it down. I'm going to place some 52 on it. Just on the base for now. Not to go crazy with it. I like to get the perimeter so it squeezes out along the sides. And get the base of these holes where the hardware is going through. Tape those up nicely. There we go. My hand's getting sore. I got arthritis. Like a motherfucker. And a lot of this is gonna squeeze out, but I'd rather make a mess than sink a boat. Alright, so now I'm going to in the hole. This bolt is a pain in the ass sometimes. There we go. And that is on there. Go. Now we'll go inside, put the other end on. You want to make sure that this bolt is squared and placed into its hole before you tighten up the nut on the other side. Now once you've done all that and you've tightened both of those up, Now you can come around here and strike your bead and then pull your tape. Okay, so now we're ready. We've tightened everything up. Now we're ready to strike our bead and pull our tape. So when you're doing that, let me clean this up first. Here we go. Beautiful. Very nice. So, I don't know if you ever put down silicone or caulking before. 5200. Get some good spit on your finger and just run it down. Collect some. Bring it over there. Spread it around everywhere. Do the same thing with your backside. Get some right there. Run your finger. Just get all of that. You can go over it multiple times. Before it starts to get cured on you. Whoops. There we go. I like that. So now I'm going to clean my finger off. Dude, this fucking guy blows me up 10 times a day. Still recording? Okay. Now, to do your final strike. Put your spit on your finger again. This way, it won't stick to your finger as much. And it puts a beautiful there we go. And that's that. So now we can pull our tape. Pull the top stuff first. On my thumb. Oh, pulling it backwards. If you get it laying your tape, you can just pull the whole thing in one shot. If you remember which way that you set it. And you can do it without getting it on your fingers, but I'm kind of in a rush. Boat's going in the water in an hour. A 5200 from here underwater. I'm not worried about that. There we go. That, my friends, it's a pretty nice looking bead. I'm gonna put the camera around so you can see. Now those extra white spots is where I went a little too far with the grinder. That's why you want to always make your mark with the grinder, or make your mark with the pencil and then grind inside that mark. But I have bottom paint. I'm just gonna touch that up just a little bit. And that's that. Perfect. We'll clean up all the other spots of silica, the 52 that are everywhere. That we can use the acetone on. Just do not get acetone on the transducer itself.